Okay, so we kind of know where these last few episodes are going to go. So we've had the fusion users come, they battled Zarc, and they lost. The only thing I was a little bit disappointed about was Zarc didn't summon the fusion dragon, the venom starved dragon, against them, which I would have made sense because he's doing it against every other one of the different extra deck users. So that was the only thing I found a bit weird, but obviously now we just had the Xyz users come. They tried their best, but unfortunately they've been defeated. Next up is the Synchro users. I didn't know who the other Synchro user was going to be, but it was Gongen Zaka, and it's going to be Jack Atlas, because Sawatari's dual disc is busted, and the final one most likely is going to be Reggie Akaba with Pendulum, and probably Sawatari is going to be dueling with him as well. So just don't know how he's going to get his dual disc fixed yet. Maybe he'll borrow one. We'll have to see. So let's really quickly talk about how overpowered the Supreme Dragon King Zarc monster is. Because obviously most of the times when people duel in this series, they have trap cards which help them survive. Everything that is keeping this monster on the field and keeping Zarc in the duel is all from the monster. Listen to its anime effects, right? So this card is always treated as a fusion synchro and Xyz monster and has a rank equal to its level. So it's a level, what? Is it 12 or 13? It's a rank 12 or 13 as well. It must be special summoned with Astrograph Sorcerer and cannot be special summoned by other ways. If this card was special summoned, you can destroy as many monsters your opponent controls as possible. Then each player that had monsters destroyed by this effect takes damage equal to the total attack of the destroyed monsters that they had on the field. Powerful already. This card cannot attack the turn this effect is activated. That's like its only detriment so far. It just can't attack the turn it's summoned because it's just obliterated the field. Okay. While there are fusion, synchro, and Xyz monsters banished, and or in the graveyards, this card cannot be destroyed. It is also unaffected by card effects that would make it leave the field. So, as long as there's something in the grave or is banished, I think as long as each one of the different types of extra deck monsters are in the grave or banished, this monster is basically indestructible. So you have to get him out on the field, I think. So the only way I can see this being happening is if, say, Yuya, Yuto and all that come back to life somehow, not sure how, and they're able to summon their own monsters back from the grave, then the monster won't be invincible anymore. So that's a possibility of one way of defeating it. All monsters you control are unaffected by the effects of your opponent's fusion, synchro, and Xyz monsters. It doesn't say anything about pendulum monsters though. If this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you can special summon 2 Supreme King Servant Dragon monsters from your extra deck in defense position. If your opponent adds a card to their hand, this is the new effect that we had revealed to us today, except during the draw phase, you can destroy that card. So, action cards don't work, you can't add cards to your hand using effects, so basically, how are you supposed to beat that, really? Honestly, I'm sure the show will figure out a way to defeat him. I mean, they have to, but what they've done here is they've just created this overpowered monster to the point that it's indestructible. And there's even a quote from Kurosaki where basically the monster that they were trying to destroy doesn't get destroyed because they can negate their effects. And then Kurosaki just goes, "That's stupid." And I agree, that is really stupid. I don't mind, I quite like having like the final battle against this monstrosity that is almost undefeatable. But I'd like it to be a bit more of a, they have a chance. It's like strategy can come involved. I would much rather have a bit of strategy involved than just trying to defeat this all-powerful monster, because they are doing things like getting their attack over like 6,000, so that it's stronger than the monster they go to attack. Oh no, you can't attack, you got to attack this monster because this monster's effect works in, so we'll attack that. Oh no, you can't attack that monster because my other monster's effect will negate that and do this. So it's just sort of just ass pulls out of it. It's not ass pulls. We've established its effects, but I imagine that list of effects will get longer as these episodes go on. Now, I wouldn't be surprised anyway. So the reason that people keep dueling and trying to like barge in on the duel, someone did say, why don't they just wait for the duel to end and then attack him? Because that way he'd have to try and re-summon his ultimate monster again. And yeah, you are right, but that wouldn't make a very good like final battle kind of thing. So I actually think this is really good the way they've set this up. People keep coming and taking him on, and they keep intruding, so we keep getting new duelists until he's whittled them all down. So I kind of like the fact that they're doing that. I think it's pretty cool. People still believe that Yuya is in there somewhere, and from what we've seen so far, it doesn't look like there is. He looks like he's been completely overwhelmed by Zarc. So we're going to have to see if anyone is able to reach him. If they are, most likely it'll be, I don't know, I guess Reggie maybe? Because Reggie and Yuya are rivals. Perhaps they're the only ones that can get through to each other. We'll have to see. Other than this duel, what's happening in the outside world is there's all these like portals, and obviously all the rifts in space and time are coming up, and everything's sort of merging together. We've got ghosts of people from the Xyz world and the Synchro world sort of wandering around aimlessly because they're like in between the two worlds, I guess. So I think if enough time passes, everything's just going to mash together and we get, you know, the new world kind of thing. Unless this is kind of what the new world is, I'm not sure. I still feel like it's an incomplete state, but we'll have to see. Keep in mind that we haven't seen anything of Ray yet. Ray or the Professor haven't been on the scene for like ages, and I'm kind of getting worried that, you know, I really want to find out what's happening with Ray. Is she evil? Is she good? Is she the real person that's going to try and stop everything? That's what when are they coming involved? I've said this before, but I'm gonna say it again. The music that they play in the duel when it's sort of like ramping up, it's that dun 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 dun, bum 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 bum. I think it's really good. I don't know why, it just gets me really hyped into the duel. I'm like really into it. But when that music went on, like, and everyone gets their like really at high attack point monsters, and they're thinking they're gonna do something, and then Zarc's like, you see sort of like a little tiny glimpse of Yuri in him then, when he's a bit sadistic in the way he's sort of laughing at them because he was like, you thought you could beat me? Oh, no you can't. So I like that, when you actually see some personality in Zarc. I don't like it when he's being all bland and serious. I like the different forms of Yuya all sort of coming out in him. That's what I would rather see. So there's one last thing I want to address. Now, people seem to think, well, not everyone, a small group of people think that, oh, I know what's going to happen, because we haven't seen any of the main characters from the old Yu-Gi-Oh series, like Yugioh, Jaden, things like that. What's going to happen is everyone's going to get defeated, and everything's going to be like, all hope is lost, and then they're all going to appear and duel Zarc and defeat him. And as cool as that would be to see, it wouldn't make a lick of sense at all. Why would they appear? They haven't been established throughout the entire series, and then that just undermines the whole point of all these characters that we've been with, that have been built up, and all their character development would just be shit on because just some people come out of nowhere and just save the day. If it does happen, if like one of the main characters actually does turn up, then I'll eat my hat. Not literally, but you know, fair play. I didn't expect that coming. That's just threw me for a loop. But yeah. That's not going to happen, I'm sorry. So yeah, that's pretty much everything I want to say about this episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5. There's not too much to say because it's just simply duels. We're not getting much sort of plot development really happening. We still need to see more of the Professor and, of course, Ray. So hopefully that comes, probably not next episode, probably in the episode after that when Reggie's dueling. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you think that Zarc's monster, the Supreme King Dragon Zarc, is a bit too overpowered? Or do you think it's just right for a kind of final battle? Because they always seem a bit overpowered, don't they? Final villains, main boss monsters. They're always really powerful. But yeah, let me know what you thought in the comment section below. Don't forget to check out my trivia. It came out today on the Gustos. But other than that, say thanks a lot for watching. Catch you later.